Good morning. So this reading is for Wednesday, April 23rd. So let's get a little bit about our past here. One more. Current energy. And future energy. Interesting. So we'll talk about all of the cards and the way that they're coming out. And the current energy, I ended up getting 4 cards because there was a 4th one that was sticking out and it felt really significant. But when I look here at the bottom of the deck and I see the 7 of Wands, the 7 of Wands is a card of resistance, but it feels a lot like you standing up and fighting for what you want, going after what you want, not letting yourself accept less than what you know you deserve. And the reason I'm saying that you know you deserve, because you've been doing a lot of work on yourself. It's showing up here in this past energy, if I can hold on to the cards. So we have the 6 of Swords showing up, which is about moving on and moving away from something here. 4 of Pentacles. And so what's happening is you were trying to create a stable environment for yourself, create your own stability, solidify your foundation, really set those boundaries. And the 8 of Pentacles indicates you were putting in a lot of work to make this happen. You've been doing this probably for a long period of time, 8 months, maybe even longer than that. But this was really about you prioritizing yourself and your own stability before you did anything else. And so that's where the 7 of Wands is coming into play. It's once you get into this rhythm of prioritizing yourself and seeing what you need in your life, because this is all Pentacles, this is coming across as what you need, you're not going to let yourself settle again. And so when I look at the current energy here and I'm getting the Justice, what you've been doing is you've been working towards a balanced way of living. So this is inner balance, this is outer balance, everything around you with that balanced energy. I'm getting the King of Wands, so male or female is just the energy of the card, but this is very action oriented. And so it tells me that you're going to be acting from a place that is very grounded, very balanced, so that when you're making decisions, you're considering everything. You're not just having some sort of impulsive response to a situation. You're actually giving everything its due weight. And I'm also getting the Chariot card, Cancer energy showing up. And so this is a card of success. It's also that movement forward. This Chariot's a very fast moving energy. And so I like the way that it's coming across here is because you're not going to be afraid to make any decision, take any kind of action here. It is going to require some strength within you, that Leo energy, but this really, it feels like you're ready for this. And that's how I would describe it. You're ready for this. When you're at the point of taking some sort of action, even if it's stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something different, you can kind of lean back on all of the work that you've been doing here, because you've been putting in the work to create your own stability, solidify your own foundation here, and really take those steps to move towards it. It wasn't something that's happening by accident here. This isn't a fleeting energy. When you're creating your stability this time around, it is not going to be easily shaken. And so when I look at the future energy and I see the 9 of Swords, so the 9 of Swords, it's stress, it's anxiety, it's fear. And it's definitely connected to this kind of optimistic view of the future. So the 4 of Wands, it's a reason to celebrate. It is union. That may or may not resonate for everybody, but what I am getting the sense here is that you've been doing so much work on yourself. There's almost this fear that you're going to fall back into an old pattern, or an old cycle is going to come back up and it's going to repeat itself. But that's not the case at all, because we have the World showing up here. And so there is a cycle that's closing out. And I'm getting the sense that whatever's showing up here in your future energy, this reason to celebrate, maybe even union with another person, it's going to show you that all of your fears, they're no longer necessary. That's not going to be the reality. That is coming to a close here. There's something significant about this 4 of Wands that really shows you the 9 of Swords in the World. This is done. This is the cycle that's over. So let's get some additional details. Tell me about the 6 of Swords. These cards, they are funny. So clarifying that Six of Swords is the Four of Wands. So this could indicate a union of some sort, of marriage, if that's what you're interested in. And I'm getting the sense here that in order to be ready for whatever comes next, because this is clarifying past energy, we've got the Four of Wands in your future energy, there was almost this desire or reason to really work on yourself. And this is connected to your goals and your dreams. And so you have some sort of vision in mind for your future. But in order to have that become a reality, you had to do some work. And so this is the work that you've been doing on yourself. And with that Four of Pentacles, I'm getting at the Tower. And so there was a sudden shakeup. But really what was happening here, it was removing all of the noise around you. It was giving you a real opportunity to focus on what matters for you, specifically for you, not other people, you. And it feels like that's what you needed. You needed this kind of a wake-up call or some sort of awakening within yourself to say, you know what? My needs matter. My desire for my future matters. And so when I get the Eight of Pentacles clarified by the Page of Cups, that's exactly what's taking place. You're working towards your goals. You're going after your own emotional fulfillment. Part of this is also kind of realigning and reassessing what you consider to be just that happy, emotionally positive future that you're trying to create for yourself. And so there was a couple of things that were taking place. A lot of work on yourself to make it a reality, but then also reevaluating those goals and dreams to see, do they still align? Are there any modifications that I need to make because you're changing? And so it would be natural for your dreams to not be 100% the same. They may be mostly the same, but I like the way that this is playing out because you've been doing all of the work for yourself here in the past, and then we get into the present. So let's clarify the Justice card. King of Wands. You know what, I am going to get the Strength card. It's outside of the spread, but we're going to do it anyway. So clarifying the Justice is the King of Cups. Again, male or female, it's just the energy of the card. King of Cups is a very emotionally mature energy. So you focusing on your emotions here in the past is allowing you to balance your emotions in the present. It's allowing you to take a realistic view of just who you are, what you want, everything kind of all together without, again, having that knee-jerk reaction or some sort of impulsive reaction to any kind of choice that is made. All of it feels like it's going to be very thorough, very thought through, very much in alignment with what you're trying to accomplish. And then clarifying the King of Wands is the King of Wands. And so this is a strong energy. When it comes out twice, this does indicate that you're taking control of a situation. You're taking control of your dreams, of your destiny. You're not afraid to act here. It may come across to other people that you're acting impulsively, but you're not. You've been doing all of the work behind the scenes. Other people may not have seen it, but they're about to, because this is really you stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something that you know is in your best interest. And it just feels like now's the time. Now is the time to act. That is coming through very strongly. And all that work that you've been doing, so we've got the Chariot with the Three of Wands. This is where the success is coming from. This is what's giving you the confidence to go after your dreams and do exactly what you want to do. That Three of Wands is a journey. It's a personal journey that you were on. It was a lot of patient energy while you went through this kind of just working through everything, kind of regaining your self-confidence, reevaluating your dreams, doing everything that you can to align yourself with your dreams. This is where the success is coming from, but this is also where that forward momentum is coming from. And so things are going to pick up in speed. If they aren't already, they're about to, and it's because you're taking control and you're not afraid to act. Not anymore. You're ready. And so clarifying the Strength card is the Hanged Man. And so the Hanged Man is about seeing things from a different perspective. This is what's happening right now, is that all this work that you've been doing, everything is allowing you to really see the big picture, really getting you to focus on what is the most important thing in your life or the most important people in your life. What kind of life does this look like? And that's where you're getting this kind of bold sense of, I can do this. I can step out of my comfort zone, take some sort of action here that leads me down this path. Tell me about the Four of Wands and the World. So what I'm getting here with that Nine of Swords and the Judgment, This is you making a very clear decision, putting the past behind you, not letting the fear control you anymore. I'm definitely getting a lot of confidence in the current energy, a lot of I'm going to take control, I'm going to do the actions and take the actions that I need in order to move forward here. And as a result of this, you are closing down a chapter. As much as you might be afraid of the unknown and how all of this is really going to play out, you're also at the same time saying, well, what if it all works out in my favor? I don't have to let fear be the lens that I use to see everything. I can do it from an optimistic or a more positive perspective, which is where all that fire energy is coming from. You wouldn't take any kind of action if you didn't think it was going to go in your favor. You would kind of climb back into hermit mode, which is not showing up here. And then clarifying the Four of Pentacles, I have the Two of Wands, which is about seeing the opportunity, really seeing the potential here in a situation. And then there is something that's really balanced about this opportunity. So whether it's a union, a romantic union, or something else, that reason to celebrate, this is all about balance. We've got four, we've got two twos. This is really significant here. This does indicate just a real potential within this connection, real opportunity here, you wanting to balance things out, wanting to make this a priority because you're recognizing that your happiness is only prioritized when you make it a priority. And this really is coming across as a union, so take it as it resonates. And I say that because the world is being clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. So we had two nines that are out here. We have you leaving behind the fear of the unknown, but also here, you've created your own abundance. And so that cycle can come to a close because you've been doing all of the work. It's showing up here in the past energy. And so by the time that you get ready to either enter into some sort of union, and that can be in any area of your life, but as you start to engage in a partnership of some sorts, you recognize, you know what, I don't need to do this on my own. I've done so much for myself already. It's time that I actually broaden my horizons, do more, expand myself in other ways. And it looks like here with this union, reason to celebrate is really the opportunity presenting itself. So this is the reading for Wednesday. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.